Hello everyone, I am Taureor, and today, instead of a challenge, I bring you a guide. You keep asking me to explain my shadow puppet strategy. So here goes. I've loaded a game in which I experimented a bit with tag switching and the return of Trotsky and so on. And let's accept the Yalta Conference proposal, do a save, and proceed to the peace conference. Follow Rome, and now a peace deal should appear. What? Fall of Rome, not capitulation of Italy, sorry. Right, so right before they take Naples, I should probably make another save. Yeah, I switched tags and deleted their army to make this faster. In the meantime, the AI made weird armies, but now we are at the peace conference. So, what is shadow puppeting? Shadow puppeting is a strategy I came up with in late 2017, I think. I might not be the first to think of it, but I used it and I haven't seen it done before, and also the name is mine. Anyway, what is shadow puppeting? It is essentially tricking the AI during a peace conference so that they wouldn't puppet people. So how does that work? To demonstrate, first I'm going to do absolutely nothing and see what the AI does at the peace conference. So let's just pass. What have they done? They have changed the government of Italy. They have liberated Austria, liberated Libya, taken some stuff. Alright, let's just click down and see what they do. So what did they do? They have freed some countries. They have freed West Germany, Austria, and Italy as democratic countries, and also separated some stuff and so on. We're not really that interested in it. Now, shadow puppeting can prevent this from happening. If you have as much war score as I just had, it doesn't really matter. But if you are weak and can't take everything you need, you can still use shadow puppeting to get your way. So let's load the conference and do it again. Now let's proceed to the peace conference, and I'm gonna do shadow puppeting. Italy has capitulated. Now, shadow puppeting is an evolution of my previous strategy of just making tiny puppets of all the countries possible so that nobody else can make those puppets or release those countries. Shadow puppeting is creating virtual puppets, puppets that will not exist after the peace conference. How do you do this? Well, you have to select all of these states of a given country to be taken by yourself, and then, let's just click take all states. You see, the puppet option is at 0 because the puppet will receive 0 provinces. It will not exist, not really. So we can puppet Germany. We can satellite Austria, satellite West Germany, and satellite East Germany. They will all become puppets within the peace conference, but they will receive no territory at all. And now I unclick take all states. This doesn't always work. Sometimes you have to do it manually. And watch out, because satellites and puppets do change places on the list, and you can accidentally click it away. Now let's repeat it for all the other countries. Italy, take all states, satellite everyone we can, and puppet, and untake all states. This essentially locks the puppet, release, or change government option for all other participants of the peace conference. Now, same with Poland. Take all states, satellite Belarus, Ukraine, and puppet Poland, and untake all states. And now, even if I pass, see, this happens. They have been blocked. They are now my puppets within the conference. However, they are not really. If I just let me show you. Let's just pass a lot of times. See, nothing is happening. They are not releasing those countries because they can't, because I did shadow puppeting. However, now nothing has happened. See, they have stayed as they were. Because shadow puppeting, puppeting with 0 provinces essentially takes them out of the peace conference. They're virtual countries. They will not be switched to my ideology. They will not become our puppets. As you can see, I have puppeted Germany and Italy, theoretically, but they did not, in fact, become my puppets after the conference. So if you are using this, if you are making a shadow puppet, if you are making a puppet with 0 provinces at the peace conference, make sure to take all of its territory, otherwise it'll be just back to the status quo from before the war. Now, I've loaded it again. Let's go back into the peace conference. Now, let's do this again, but this time do it properly. So, take all states, satellite and puppet everyone. Same for other countries. And now, the allies can't do anything, right? They can't, I mean, they can take territory. They can still take territory they're interested in, and France is taking some. But they cannot puppet, they cannot release, they cannot change government or satellite any countries because we have blocked all the options. And now we have tons and tons of war score. Now, these options for taking territory will sometimes get bugged, and I can't click take all states anymore, so I'll have to do it manually. But with that, I can. I have enough war score to just click each and every province. And if I don't click each and, I mean, I can also do it from the list here. And if I don't do each and every province, the ones I don't take will remain property of the country they belonged to, just like we saw in the previous example. So for example, if I just take half of Italy will be mine, and the rest of it will still be Italy and will still be under Mussolini. Right, and let's do the same with Poland. Just take all states. Now this is easy as the Soviet Union, for example, because we had a lot of war score. Also, this was a cheated game. I was just playing around with Trotsky and stuff like that. But you can do this as small countries as well. See here, no East Germany, no West Germany, everything is mine. This is what shadow puppeting is useful for. And you can also do this as a small country, because it costs 0 war score. The only limitation is that if someone goes before you, you can do nothing to stop them. For example, this is very useful against Japan, or rather against China with Japan. Japan tends to make reorganized nationalist China or reorganized government of China. However, they usually can't do this on the first round of negotiations. So what you can do is puppet them yourself or create a shadow puppet if you're in the war, and then just take all this territory for yourself because Japan doesn't want it directly. They want a puppet. If you block this, it's yours. I mean, provided you're in the same war, of course. You can only use this as a non-democratic country because democracies can't puppet. Even if you have like 2% war score, you can get all of this territory in this war if you use this strategy correctly. And you can see a lot of my other challenges in which I do that. It is also useful to prevent the Yalta Conference separation, like I just did here. And you can also do this as a very small country, provided that they don't release all the puppets or countries in the first round. Basically, at a peace conference, the one who has the most war score moves first. And when it comes to you and they haven't released anyone, you can block all the releases. It's useful to prevent democracies from releasing countries and changing governments. It is also very useful to prevent the Soviet Union from acquiring puppets, because the Soviet Union will very likely puppet a lot of countries around here, and everyone can do it. Now, let's load this once again. Loaded it up once more. You can also mix shadow puppeting with regular puppeting. And while we're at it, I'm going to teach you how to puppet on the cheap. It's very similar to shadow puppeting in the method, but the outcome is totally different. Let's do this on the example of Italy. We want to puppet Italy, but we don't have enough points to puppet them normally, because puppeting them costs 2,000. Well, we have 2,000, but let's assume we don't. What do you do in that case? Well, you take all states, and then you find the cheapest one. Libyan Desert? Looks fine to me. You unclick the cheapest one, and now you puppet. It's a 0-cost puppet, but they are getting a province, so it's not a shadow puppet. They will still be our puppet. And now you untake all states. Good? Good. Now, let's pass. I've puppeted them. This time it is not a shadow puppet, it's a regular puppet. Now, seems like my tag switching and so on might have damaged the general peace conference situation, but let's end this. Yeah, will Germany get split? It doesn't really matter. We're only interested in Italy in this case. Now, because I did give them one province, they actually did become a puppet. So this is how you puppet on the cheap. Now, they did have a province for 0 war score, but even if they didn't, I think Zara was 5. Let's go back once more. I want to show you something else. Peace conference again. Why puppet? We already covered why you want to shadow puppet people, but now, why do you want to puppet them? apart from just because you want to have a puppet. Because you might as well just take all the territory and then release that country. Well, first of all, puppeting them blocks other countries from puppeting them or changing the government. That's one. But two, it also changes the cost of taking provinces. For example, if I wanted to take Piedmont, it is 1,200 war score, because I'm not occupying it. Polish provinces are cheap, but I'm not occupying this, so this is expensive for me. However, if I puppet Italy, let's do the cheap puppet again. This time let's use Zara. See? Puppet. And take all states again, and then untake all states. They're only getting Zara, right? Remember, 1,200 Piedmont. Let's end the turn. They have appeared as our puppet here in the negotiations. Now we select them, and we use our war score to give provinces to them. 81. 1,000. 81. That is a huge difference, isn't it? And it's very useful if you want to grab a lot of territory before your competitors can. In this situation, we're participating in the peace conference with the allies who don't really care for taking a lot of territory. So it doesn't matter to them. But if it was, for example, us and, let's say, Japan or Germany, and carving up some poor, defenseless country, then, if we puppeted them, we would be able to get more for the war score we have. In this particular example, let's assume I want to take all of Italy before someone can steal it from me. If I want to take it as myself, well, that's almost 10,000 war score, over 10,000 war score. That's a bit much, isn't it? But if I select Italy as my already established puppet, and now I just want to feed them back all their territory, it's cheap because it's their core territory. We're just giving them back what is theirs, so it's easy to negotiate it. See? It was 10,000 previously, now it's just 500 war score to get all this stuff. And once they are your puppet, of course you can annex them later. It's just for depriving your enemy of this territory. And you can also mix shadow puppeting and normal puppeting. Now, if we go down to Poland, yeah, you can do puppets for your puppets. You need to switch back to us. Now, go to Poland. We want to take all states. It's not available. Let's take all states manually. We can shadow puppet and puppet in the same peace conference. It will not be a problem. Okay, now we puppet Poland. Now we untake those states. See, puppet. Poland is a puppet. Now, important note, one more thing I want to show you is that it doesn't work if you've shadow puppeted someone first. You can't then turn them into a normal puppet. It might sound weird, but let me show you. Now, I have puppeted Italy with one province, and then I've given them stuff. Now, I have puppeted Poland with zero provinces, and now I'm going to give them stuff. Essentially, we have puppeted Italy normally, and we have shadow puppeted Poland. Now we're feeding each of them some territory. Let's also give them some German territory, so it's apparent that it all actually took place, that it all actually worked, had an effect. Now let's end the turn and just end the peace conference. See? Poland didn't get the German territory we gave them. Italy did. Italy became our puppet. Poland did not. So, in conclusion, if you do shadow puppeting, if you puppet someone with zero land, it essentially takes them out of the calculation. You can take the territory for yourself, you can take the territory for your puppets, for your other puppets, but that country is not behaving normally. If you puppet them with zero provinces first, if you shadow puppet them, you can't make them a normal puppet and you can't give them stuff. It will just not work. Because the peace conference treats them as your puppet, but it doesn't have the effect. They don't actually become your puppet. Now, this can be classified as a bug, as an exploit, but it has been in the game for a very long time, and I'm pretty sure the devs know about it. So minor exploit, maybe, I don't know. The AI just gets very, very confused if you make a puppet or a satellite country with just 0 land. It just doesn't take it into account, and you can use this to get some land for yourself. But do make sure to take all their land if you're doing this, otherwise things will get weird. Now, if I shadow puppeted Poland and took half of their territory, I would still keep half of their territory for myself, but the rest would still be Poland from before the war, still non-aligned. Okay, I think I have explained this in detail, haven't I? Let me know what you think about the strategy, and I'm not bringing you a challenge this week because I'm on holiday, and this was a short video I could stick together before I left. So let me know in the comments what you think about this, if I was thorough enough in my explanation or did I miss something, and what you would like to see next, both challenges and strategy guides. And that's it for today. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.